This has to do with Worstel specifically. We were told that that impoundment would only hold fresh water, and it would deal only with 3 sites: Troyer, Engel, Worstel. It morphed, my friends. It became contaminated water with no authority to do it, and it became open to unlimited sites with no legal authority. Those 2 are Worstel specifically.
Is it over?
Now, I have a couple more here that do not deal, there's a waiver, do not deal with Worstel at this time, but they might, because the specifications that were used to build all these other impoundments that are having problems are the exact specs that were used to build Worstel. So I don't think that it's a stretch to say if all the other impoundments are having serious problems, maybe we need to check on Worstel. Some of the other problems are...
Rose, we need to wrap it up too. Don't go ahead and
Do
wrap it
you
up.
want me to sit down?
No, I want you to finish and wrap it up here, okay? Because we give everybody 3 minutes.
Okay, great. I'm not going to mention the other ones. But I guarantee you, there is somebody sitting in this room tonight that can explain or expand on every single problem. There is somebody in this room who can explain it, not the same person, but we have a lot. What I would suggest to you tonight is that we devise a plan, and we have to have a place to start. So I would start with the people whose job it is to do this. We have the township representatives, we have the people at the state, our legislators, and our DEP. We have an imperative to take this message to them and demand that we have some kind of action. You've been great listeners. Thank you.
I have a question for you.
And
This water that's there, is it contaminated with the liquid that they use for fracking?
It's coming out of the wells. It's flowback water.
Okay, does it have the chemicals that they use for fracking in the water?
Well, it goes down and comes back up, so certainly.
The answer is
so
yes.
The answer is
probably
yes.
does have fracking chemicals in it.
Have you ever read a study on those chemicals? You know that first of all, those chemicals by law cannot be revealed.
I know that. That's one of
You know
the
why?
problems. I don't.
It was something to do with Halliburton. My daughter gave a 2-hour speech on this in college. It's unbelievable the effects of those chemicals.
Well, I think what you're asking for too is the fact that we've all seen everything that's been written in the newspapers now about the Carter and the Yeager and the Day impoundments. They're all having problems with soil contamination and with groundwater contamination. And this one was built the same way. Actually, it wasn't constructed properly. And it goes back to their leak detection system. I mean, common sense tells you when you build a leak detection system, you would put the liner down first, then you'd put your leak detection pipes down next, and then you put your liner on top of that. So if it breaches the first liner, then now it goes into your detection system. You realize you have a problem before it goes to your soil or your groundwater. Well, this one was built like the other 3, and they're having questionable problems with this. I think we need to go ahead and send a letter to the DEP. This one was built, it has the leak detection system right on top of the ground, and both liners are on top of it. So by the time you breach both liners, you already have your contamination on the way to the soil and groundwater. I think the way to resolve this would be send a letter to the DEP asking them to do some soil contamination testing for us. And also ask that they give us any groundwater contamination data too. I think it wouldn't hurt to have our own people up there being able to follow this soil testing too.
I hope the board can have some discussion on this evening. I really do. Thank
Well,
you.
Andy, is this water not evaporated also?
That's another point also. You're right, that's another point too. But I think one of one of the ways to say that we can protect our residents is just to ask the DEP
If I were
to
you, I
check into
wouldn't
this.
use the word water.
Hopefully, there's no soil contamination up there. I'd be more than happy to know that there's none up there.
No, it's not.
But since
No,
it's
it's not.
built like the other ones that are having problems like this, I think we need to contact the DEP and ask them for a letter, write a letter to them, asking them to do some, just like they've done on the other impoundments, to do some soil contamination. Test soil contamination, you're right, testing, exactly, you got it, Elizabeth. So, Dawn, would you be willing to write up a letter for us asking for those things to the DEP?
Sure.
Okay. So we'll move forward on that then.
Hi, my name is Greg Hall. I live on Slatewar Drive, 310 Slatewar Drive. I'd like to know what's going on at the bottom of Slatewar Drive in Weavertown. Now, they have a residual waste facility down there. It's on residential property, which when I called the police department, thank you for them guys for getting it all removed out of there, because the 30 phone calls I made prior didn't help. Well, he got everything out of there. Well, now he's got all these, which Bruce knows about it. He's got these tanker down there, he's got some roll-up boxes, full coal down there, he's got somewhere around 100 stone barriers. You know, he built a wall all the way around there. I'm not a dummy, he ain't building a wall for no reason. It's residential property, he shouldn't be in there. I mean, I just don't know what's going on, we got really big log piles over there. It's residential property, I don't know what kind of crap in there was before we put all the dust and all the bullshit. All the trucks and roads busted to pieces up there from it all. And I don't know if anyone even knows about it except them or what's going on, but I
Did you realize what was going on up there, Bruce?
We've had our code enforcement officer out there several times looking at it. And I think the discussion I had with you at the last time, several weeks ago, was that there wasn't a wall per se, it was just Jersey barriers that were installed, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that's what you said, it's all the way around. That's your code enforcement officer, I can tell you, said to me, his exact words, and if you'll believe me, I can show you video. He said to me that, you know, how long have you and your wife lived here? Would you be interested in selling Weavertown? If you can't beat them, join them. I can show you the video if you don't believe me. I mean, when I had him at my house, who's he working with? Township, taxpayers, or Weavertown?
The bottom, when you talk about the bottom, it's across, it would be on the south side of the...
As soon as you go down Slatewar, yeah, on one side of Slatewar. As soon as you go down there, he stoned it all down there and everything. He had a roll-off station out there.
What I can do is tomorrow morning I can go out and look at it, and I'll call Weavertown.
I mean, if you got your stuff out, you made the other neighbors up there move their truck out of there and get it out of there. You know, it's 750 all them years. Jack over there, I don't know his last name. Man, you get hit. We were talking about stuff out, but a month later you can bring it back. Why can't the other guys bring their stuff back? You know? Good for one, good for all.
We'll take a look at it first thing in the morning. We'll get
I appreciate it.
We'll
Somebody doing something about it. I mean, I'd like to be notified, if there's going to be some rezoning or something up there, we would like to be notified this time. Because in 2002, when that was rezoned all the way around, there was never nothing posted. I lived there, I talked to every neighbor who lived up there, none of that was ever posted it was being rezoned up there.
I'll revisit it personally myself, and we'll notify.
You got my phone number, please give me a call.
Will do.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Hi, I'm John Zuillo, 341 Fawcett Church Road. My concern tonight, or it's been for a while, is the storm stores at the top of the hill that have been covered over for 2 years now. I'm wondering why my yard is the storm store for the road, because the storm stores have been covered over with steel plates, and then the next two coming down the road, one's clogged and the other one don't work because the way the water road comes down the road, it misses the storm sewer.
Is it on Fawcett Church, you're saying?
Yes, Fawcett Church Road.
On Morganza Road at the very top, or is it?
No, it's on the hill coming down before the church.
Do you know anything about this, Bruce? Yeah, Bill?
I do. Those storm sewers are blocked, completely blocked. And we've asked our engineer to do a hydraulic evaluation on the discharge of those storms up there. The outflow area where the water is outflowing onto People that own that property don't want it there, don't want the inlets outflowing there. So we've asked the engineers to do a hydraulic analysis to determine what amount of water is actually flowing onto that property.
Well, how long is this going to take? It's been 2 years, and the township, and I do appreciate this, at one time last year, they came out and raised the curb between 339 and 337 where the water was coming over the curbs. And, I mean, like I said, I can't landscape my property, my mulch gets washed away. It's bad. And now, even with that curb being raised, the water is jumping the curb. It's, now we get rain, it's snow, drizzle, or whatever. The rain is jumping the curb, coming down the road, and it's undermining the road. And it's a shame because the road was new at one time. I mean, there's just too much water. Like I said, the next storm source coming down the hill, the last time it rained hard, I was out there. The one on the right-hand side coming down wasn't taking any water. The one on the left-hand side, maybe 10% water. The force of the water was driving it straight past the source, straight down the hill. No relief until it gets down to the bottom of the hill, then it's look out. My neighbor's mulch is washed away also. I had sent an email to Mr. Whalen because I had contacted people and nobody has left messages and no one has called back to me. And I'm just concerned. I mean, I'd hate to finish landscaping my yard, but I can't.
John, since we've received your emails, and Mark has told us that he has CC'd us on those emails that you've sent, but he was the primary point of contact since he was discussing the problem with you. We involved, as Bill had said, we involved our engineer. Dan's going to go out and look and see exactly how much water you're getting and if there's a resolution to the problem you have at the top of the hill there. So I would expect before the end of the month.
Well, it's already cost me like $8,000, and I'm in the process now of bringing topsoil in because I had to put a 12-inch line in just for my French drains, and the water coming down my driveway couldn't handle it. My gutter, it just couldn't handle it. I went from a 6-inch line and put a 12-inch line. Just hopefully keep my house from getting flooded because that's what was happening. My basement was getting flooded. I've never in 35 years had water in my house that I lived there.
After Dan performs his analysis, I'll provide you a copy of that letter.
I appreciate that.
You go ahead and look into this then for us, guys, okay?
And what about the other one, next one's coming down that aren't working?
We'll do an evaluation of that entire roadway, from the top to the bottom.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.